Ladies and gentlemen, heels and heelettes, welcome back to another episode of Blunt Impact. I am your boy, Chris G, of course, joined by my co-host, Mary Jane. It's a lot to unpack in this episode of Impact. It is the May 12th edition of Impact Wrestling, coming off the heels of Rebellion still. There's a tournament starting for the number one contender to the World Championship. A couple good matches that happened throughout the card, and I'm excited to get into it. I hope everybody's staying home, staying safe during these tough times. We here at True Heel Heat still giving you what we need to give you to keep you guys entertained, because we have so much time, so you might as well spend it watching wrestling reviews. Everybody at home, I hope you got your blunt, joint, bong, apple, pineapple, mango, whatever you're smoking out of these days. I hope you have it ready. I'm going to light up at the count of 3. I hope you do the same thing, okay? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. So the usual Impact Open starts, but halfway through it's interrupted by Moose, and it's this corny montage about he holds the most prestigious championship in Impact history, the TNA World Heavyweight Championship that he didn't even fucking fight for. He just took it out of a warehouse where it was being stored. Whatever. They showcase AJ Styles, Sting, Kurt Angle, all the guys that held the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Really building up Moose to be this TNA legend killer. Of course, for the foreseeable future, I guess we have Josh Matthews and Madison Rayne on commentary, who work pretty good together every week. Just seems like they become more and more cohesive, and they feed off each other very well, so makes the soundtrack to the show a lot better. Even though I like Don Callis, I would like to see a 3-man team or a 3-man and woman team with them 3. Probably would be pretty entertaining. Next up, we have a first round match in the tournament between Madman Fulton and Hernandez, TNA legend. This match was a little slow for me. 2 big guys that hit hard. So, you know, it's not going to be high spot after high spot. They're really just going to work on each other. It's pretty much back and forth. Very hard hitting, very physical. But at the end, guess who takes the L? Do I even have to fucking say it? Do I even have to say who takes the L in this? Super Mex Hernandez on to the next round. Next, we get an Michael Elgin promo in the back, talking about why they're having a tournament. He should be the number one contender, but he's going to do what he does time and time and time again, and that's hurt people, send them to the hospital, and he's going to become number one contender. My early favorite. It only makes sense to make him number one contender. Next up, we see OVE backstage, and they're pissed. Both Chris Brothers and Madman Fulton. Madman Fulton and I think Dave Chris are about to go at it, you know, dissension within the group. But then crazy fucking Steve comes out and tells them that they need to band together. I guess he wants to be their new leader. I'm not really feeling it. Then Joseph P. Ryan comes out and says they are crazy shaming, because they called Crazy Steve crazy, because that's in his name, but they're crazy shaming. Okay. Next, Josh and Madison run down the card, which we have a few matches coming up that we'll get into. One of which is Kylie Rae versus Tasha Steelz. Now, Tasha Steelz is new to the Impact division, fellow Puerto Rican. Glad to see her on prime time in a kind of major wrestling company. We need more Boricua representation on television in wrestling. The Boricua Badass did not disappoint. She had a good match with Kylie Rae. It was well paced, back and forth. They got their shit in when they needed to. It got enough time, but at the end of the day, Kylie Rae gets the W, makes Tasha Steelz tap. Next, we get a Rohit Raju promo backstage, and he's talking about how it's his time. People used to think he was a laughing stock, a joke. That shit is over. He's coming for blood. He's coming to be victorious. He's coming to be champion. And his mother calls him son because he shines like one. That's pretty fucking corny. But hey, kind of dig it. Next up, backstage we have Kylie Rae and Susie interacting once again. both fucking weird. And yeah, looks like they're gonna be friends. Okay. Good over there?
Whoops.
Next up, we had Kimberly, who was making her debut as well, versus Havoc. This was slow at first, but then Kimberly took over. The pace really starting to speed up a little bit. Nevaeh makes another appearance, and she's just stalking in the fucking bleachers like she's Sting. At the end, Kimberly uses brass knuckles to knock out Havoc while the ref isn't looking. She gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. I haven't seen this in a while, so I actually kind of like it. It kind of brings me back to the William Regal days where he was knocking everybody out with the brass knuckles. Pull him out of his ball sack and just knock you out. That's disrespectful. Next up, we get a Kiera Hogan vignette, and she's, you know, the girl on fire, and she's fly, and she's from Atlanta. We'll see her from eventually. What? Mind your business.
Yeah. Got 2 minutes.
Yeah, alright. Next up, we have Locker Room Talk. Madison Rayne and her co-host Johnny Jabroni. Shamrock basically tells Johnny Swinger to kick rocks, go get him a water or some shit. Then they talk about why Shamrock came back. Now he basically wants to be champ. Michael Elgin comes in and lays him out with like a pipe or some shit or a bat. Just right over the head. Just knocks the motherfucker out. Then he does like a bootleg concerto onto Ken Shamrock. And his status is up in the air. Nobody knows what's going on with Shamrock for the next few weeks. So I guess we'll find out next week what's the status. Next up, we got a Sami Callihan promo. And he's basically talking about how Michael Elgin is trying to follow in his footsteps and trying to live off the name of Sami Callihan. It's kind of weird because it's a heel versus heel dynamic unless they're slowly kind of turning Sami face, which is weird. Either way, I'm all for it. Michael Elgin versus Sami Callihan would be a pretty good match. Next up, we got Rohit Raju versus Trey from the Rascals. This match really showcased Trey's athleticism. It was very well paced. It was physical. It was back and forth towards the end. But Trey steals the win. Rohit Raju throws a post-match tantrum, and he's pissed because this might be his only chance or last chance at a title shot. But hopefully they have bigger things for him because he showed a lot in that match. Next up, we have Cody Deaner quarantined again in his RV drinking beer with squirrels and fucking whatever other rodent you can think of in the backwoods. He's doing yoga. He's jogging. And fucking dad jeans. It's funny shit. It was actually pretty funny. So they're winning me over slowly but surely. They're winning me over. Next up, we have North defending their titles again against a couple jabronis. Two skinny fucks named the Schmoes, or I think it was the Schmoes. It was fun. It's fun. Josh Alexander tossing motherfuckers around. Ethan Page acting like there's a crowd around him, just being a complete dick. It's pretty funny. Impact is on par with their comedy. Some of it's kind of cheesy, some of it's pretty funny. The little dialogue like in between with Ethan Page and Josh Alexander. Once again, I say it every fucking week. The North, one of the best tag teams in the world right now. I would even go as far as to say they are a top 5 tag team right now. Quote me on that, motherfucker. Next up, we got Rosemary, and she's doing the brujeria again with the little dog, who's Taya, and the other little bunny, which is most likely Allie from when she used to be on Impact. Now she's on AEW, of course. So she's chilling at the bar, sipping a drink, doing brujeria. And Johnny Bravo comes and interrupts. He's like, "Why'd you take Taya's dog?" And they talking about he misses Taya. Whatever. We have an indication of something happening next week between Johnny Bravo, Taya, and Rosemary. Kind of intrigued. We'll see what happens. Get out. Next up, we get the throwback match of the week, which is Victory Road 2011. And it was between Matt Hardy and AJ Styles. Matt Hardy was getting kind of stocky at this point. He had like these box braids and shit. He looked weird. Ric Flair was in it, causing interference, and AJ, I think, hit him with a few Pele kicks and shit. Probably a decent match, but I'll watch that another time. Next up, we get Chris Bay, and he's backstage talking to Johnny Swinger. Basically told Johnny Swinger that Willie Mack's talking shit. So then Johnny Swinger finds Willie Mack. He's like, all right, you want to talk shit? He's like, I'm the Shawn Michaels of the tag team. Even though they were never a tag team. But you get where he's going with this. Willie Mack gives him an X Division championship match next week. And I'm pretty sure Willie Mack's going to win. The main event is Suicide versus the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Moose. And Moose is defending the title. That doesn't even fucking exist anymore. But it is what it is. I'm not a fan of Moose passing up a title shot, but I am a fan of him being delusional, thinking he's an actual champion. But Moose is good. Big fan of his. This is a good match. Whoever's playing Suicide is getting a little bit more smoother in the ring, like how Suicide from back in the day was. So maybe it is TJP. Maybe he just needed to get used to the suit. But I honestly don't know who it is. I doubt it. But it was a pretty good match. Suicide started hot. Moose started to capitalize towards the middle of it. Started working on Suicide outside. And it started going back and forth. Moose eventually does a splash on the ref, so we get a little ref bump. Suicide hits Moose with a good counter, kind of like a code breaker. And there's no ref to count to 3. Finally got the ref up. Moose hits the spear. No jackhammer needed. Moose gets the W and defends the championship. I'm excited to see the next few first round matches next week for the Impact World Championship Number One Contenders. Can't even talk. You know how much weed I smoked today? What else is there to do? I'm not too sure when their next big show is, but they're gearing up for something big, hopefully. Hopefully everything kind of starts to normalize soon so everybody can get back to work, especially the world's champion. And we can see some progress in Impact Wrestling because they're on the right path. Started off decent first 5 months of 2020, but you got to really start kicking it into gear right now. Subscribe, comment, like, share. YouTube, Facebook, True Heel Heat, baby. We are here. I finally decided that Joints and Jabroni will come back at the end of the month with a different format. I have that ready. Can't wait. I'm your boy Chris G. From my co-host Mary Jane. My girlfriend just splashed me in the face with water because she has no respect for me. I'm your boy Chris G. She's cool, everybody. I'll catch you next time.